Nice interviewing you guys. We are all the time dealing with these questions of how blurry the lines between where the human ends and where the machine starts. And I think the movie has a lot of issues that back then were deemed too futuristic, but now they're not that much.
Yeah.
So I'd like to think what you guys think about how we deal with technology and where the human ends and where the machine begins.
I live such an analog existence. It's very strange for me to be a part of this conversation. Maybe that's why I, for some reason, keep finding myself in the sci-fi genre, is because, you know, at my very core, I'm such an old-fashioned type of person. But, you know, I think this film asks that, it begs us to ask that question of, you know, in the effort to advance our experience, you know, what do we lose of our human experience, or what are we willing to sacrifice of our human experience?
You had a family. Remember that.
I'm very curious about the eye of Bateau. How long did it take for you to get ready to shoot, and what was the hardest part of acting with the eye?
With those prosthetic eyes, it took 4 hours in makeup every single day.
Wow.
That's a long time in makeup before you would have a work day that would be between 12 and 13 hours. And it was difficult because my peripheral vision was like 0. I couldn't see anything. And my, I don't know what it's called, frontal vision would be, I don't know, 10% of something. But when we were doing all these stunt scenes, it would fog up. So I couldn't see anything. I would be running into, I would be running into you sometimes. But it was, you know, it's such an iconic part of the character, so I didn't want to have CGI.
How long did it take for you to prepare to shoot?
With the preparation of my character, so first what I did was I reviewed everything with Ghost in the Shells. Then I changed my diet. I went on a raw diet because I thought that it would change me, which it did. I trained in kickboxing. And I worked with a woman who's a ballet dancer. We worked on some exercises and movements that would change the way that I move. I decided that I wanted to change the voice of the character. So I listened to a lot of computers speaking, you know, and then I studied science and technology, current science and technology, and some sort of Asian philosophy.
If you could have any kind of technological enhancement or augmentation, would you have it? And if you would, which one would it be?
I like cycling, so I would like to have buns of steel so that I can cycle further. And
that's such a beautiful answer. I'm not going to be able to top that. I would create a little implant I would put in the back of my head like the Major does in the film. And I would love to speak all the languages of the world.
I mean, I certainly could use, like, probably some upgrades at this point. I would like a, needs less sleep to operate button. Although I do like the dream state. I think you get a lot from that too. So I think I'm good. I like this flawed human, you know, existence I'm living with right now. I think that's what makes us human, right? It's our flaws, or what's perceived to be our flaws, our vulnerabilities, and our perceived weaknesses. I like all that stuff.
You know, her character, you know, is a metaphor for the, you know, the ghost as the spirit and the soul and the shell as the machine. And I think, you know, that is the most kind of clear conversation about technology consuming humanity. And I hope through science fiction stories like this, we can look back at what it is to be human more and why we need to preserve humanity in a technological age.
They did not save your life. They stole it.
Where do you think that the human part ends and the machine part begins?
The technology should help us, should make us more freer and more conscious in a way. And it seems that the technology sometimes is taking over. So it's, of course, a big reflection of our time, you know, what you know, where the evolution is going to take us, because we seem to worship science so much and worship the technology. So it feels like we're caught up in a world that we feel totally directed by. In our society, really what major is teaching that's why at the end, you know, I'm able to sacrifice and give its place and its own freedom.
Okay, that's it.
That's it.
Okay. Thanks
Sorry,
a lot.
I spoke the whole.
Okay, thanks a lot.
you.
Thank you. Bye.
They created me, but they cannot control me.